we continue within the headlines. Now we get to look at what the papers have for us very briefly. I'll start you off with the Daily Nation. Some good news that, at least amid all these unsettling stories concerning the BodaBoda that we have been witnessing. American firm Moderna to build a vaccine plant in Kenya, and this is something that the president has lauded, saying this new $56 billion deal will be a game changer for the continent, given it will make Kenya the hub and the first one in Africa to actually host such a plant. And it will not only be focusing on the production of COVID-19 vaccines, but it will also look at drugs that can help in the treatment of HIV as well as cancer. Some good news for our country right there. Coming on to some bit of politics, Ruto set to run parallel vote tallying center, and quoted here on the front page when he was speaking yesterday at the Holiday Inn Hotel in London, he said, quote, "My votes cannot be stolen. I'm not the type of person they can steal votes from. It's not possible." That is a story that has been captured here. Of course, we'll be giving you more details in a bit. And then again, that story concerning the BodaBoda sector has also found its way here on the front page. And they title it, "A Sector Gone Rogue." And they go on to write to Mutiambai here saying, "Dear Hilary Mutiambai, stop this madness now." This story has been captured in great detail here. Of course, we'll be giving you details as per what these dailies have. And this is mostly in regards to the development that had been made by last evening with 16 suspects in connection with the attack of the female motorist being arrested. Here they go on to say that the lady in this particular case was able to record a statement yesterday, given she had been traumatized by this particular event and she wasn't able to do anything since Friday, but they were able to communicate with her and she was able to put in her statement. And you know what's the saddest thing is when you get to read this particular story, it actually goes back to a task force that was formed in 2019 to create regulations on how to streamline the BodaBoda sector, and yet there has never been a report that has been made public from this task force on what they came up with. Details in a bit. Victor.
Front page of the Star. Ruto, "I didn't appoint any cabinet minister." Kenyatta recently accused the DP's wing of running down agriculture, and now the DP denies ever sharing position, saying that Uhuru made all appointments in his regime. Of course, the Deputy President was speaking in Chatham House in the UK during his tour. 16 BodaBoda riders held after motorists molested, story that has gripped the nation. But as at yesterday, according to the police spokesman Bruno Shioso, he said that 32 so far arrested and 11 BodaBoda operators, BodaBodas were impounded, and they are still continuing with the investigations, and most likely they will be presented to court this morning. Kenya's fat children are a ticking time bomb. According to World Health Organization, kids in the country are among the most overweight in Africa due to poor diet. Now, this is what it says. The World Health Organization says that this is because of a shift in diet to foods high in calories but low in nutritional value. On the other hand, according to UNICEF, Kenya also has a high number of children, about 24%, with stunted growth due to lack of enough food. There's a cartoon here. Perhaps my cameraman, can just zoom into this cartoon here. It's KCPE, and we have got two. We have got politicians now. Okay, there you go. So we have got, this is Rao, ODM leader Raila Odinga on this end, sitting for his paper. We have got Kalonzo Musyoka just peeping. And this is Ruto in the UDA colors, and this is Mudavadi also peeping. Then the question says, the running mates are going to come from which region? A, Mount Kenya; B, Central; C, Gema; and D, all of the above. So when you look at Rao scratching his head like, okay, and Ruto at the same time asking himself, itatoka happy? That is the cartoon of the day. Interesting. Thank you. All right. Moving on, very quickly, we won't force anybody to join Azimio la Umoja, Raila tells Wiper. And of course, this comes at a time when Raila was asked by the journalist whether Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka will be present at the Azimio Delegates Conference. But Raila said that Saturday's meeting is for parties that subscribe to Azimio's ideology. So he said that, no, if you're not subscribing to Azimio's ideology, then you're not welcome in the party. I didn't appoint any minister. That's according to the DP Ruto. And of course, it continues to read, saying that Ruto instead insisted that the Jubilee administration was a unit headed by the president who made all the appointments. And on that story of Moderna, 57 billion shillings to be spent to build that drug facility in Kenya. And the company says that it anticipates investing up to $500 million. That's equivalent to 57 billion shillings in the new facility, which will focus on drug substance production. This actually is going to be the first in Kenya, in Africa, so to speak. And finally, in sports, Omanyala eyes national record at World Indoor Championships, and he said that the national 100 meters record holder said that competing at the World Indoors Tour Series last month has greatly improved him and believes it is only a matter of time before his medal cabinet starts filling up. All the best to Omanyala, Umwami himself.
Omanyala.
Doreen.
Omanyala
is going to do things.
Uhuru's cabinet has failed. That is what the deputy president is saying. This is even as he is on his 10-day tour on the West, that is from the US to the UK, citing that those who were appointed to perform the tasks that had been mandated to him during the period of 2013 to 2017 are the ones that have actually failed the government. And he really said some heavy words right there, even as it pertains to the president. And away from that, Raila tells off Kalonzo over Azimio. Yes, so he's also come out to say this is after last week when Kalonzo released that NASA partnership agreement. And he actually said, this is the Wiper Party leader, he said that he's going to be in talks with Azimio only if that agreement forms the basis of their conversation. But the former premier says that this outfit is only open to those who want to belong, and no one is being coerced to join Azimio la Umoja. So even as that is happening, Kenyans protest sharp rise in cooking gas, and now dealers are adjusting to the prices. This is between 200 shillings and 500 depending on the size of the container, as mentioned by the top oil marketer, that is Rubis Energy, whereby the 13 kg cylinder will rise from 2,700 to 3,340. And if you can remember, there was a time this 13 kg cylinder was actually going for about, is it 18 or 2,000 Kenyan shillings? So clearly it's just been rising and rising over time. And going by this article, there's just some alternatives that perhaps Kenyans can employ. Part of what is being mentioned here is the use of firewood and ethanol cookers. Some saying that they stopped using this cooking gas a long time ago because of their prices, and they only get to use it during emergency times. So most Kenyans opened to woman deputy president. This is the latest report by TIFA that shows, depending on both coalitions, Kenyans are actually open to a female deputy president, but still reluctant to elect a female as the head of state. And those names that came out on this poll included Martha Karua, that is the NARC Kenya party leader. There's Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, as well as Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu. There's obviously still that story on what happened yesterday along the Professor Wangari Maathai Road. And as the police spokesperson is saying that the persons who are arrested have been presented before courts of law, and upon completion of investigation, of course, they will be charged. And down in Mombasa, health officials have downed their tools since yesterday, citing non-payment as well as non-remittance of their salaries reduction. This also happened early this year. I don't know really what is happening in Mombasa when it comes to health workers. Regina.
Now, being the 8th of March 2022, the world is marking International Women's Day. And as I sample this particular daily being the Standard, we have a piece here that talks about, women and the roles that they're playing in society. Just having a look at, the turn of events. There are women who have thrown their hearts into the political ring, gunning for hot seats like governor and senators. So this is quite a piece here at a time when you're looking at the issues of, women especially accessing or rather getting opportunities for leadership. This year's theme, actually what is trending this morning is #break the bias. Matters of gender equity are not just a women thing or a female thing, but it encompasses both gender, male, female, for equal opportunities, equal access, no bias and such. So get onto the bandwagon. KBC Twitter line is open for your feedback in regard to also the matter that we highlighted for you there, the issue of the BodaBoda issue. We understand that in the course of this week, there's a faction, human rights activists are going to be having a peaceful demonstration whose aim is to have the government regulate the BodaBoda sector that has already been termed as a security threat. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Another story that has also caught the eye of the scribe this morning is all about matters of politics, when now Raila comes out and says that he is ready, or rather Azimio is ready to go without Kalonzo. And that is, or rather Kalonzo representing Oka here. Then the cost of cooking gas, the rise in it has been cited to be, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. And now this comes against a background of eroded household incomes caused, by drought and the COVID-19 pandemic. In short, mimi na wewe kama Wanjiko tunakaza kamba zaidi. I'm very keen to see in the next week or so, when EPRA releases its fuel prices, new fuel prices, if you're still going to if you're going to be making use of the petroleum levy. Then Uhuru's failures are his own, says Deputy President William Ruto. So much is happening in the political scene. Also to remind you that this is day 2 of the KCP examinations, and it's found itself on the front page of this particular daily. Now, talking about politics, there are various players, and the chat